Chung asked for that update for the false reports.
Good evening and welcome to the February 10th meeting of the Florissant City Council. If everyone can please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pagano? Parson?
Present.
Siam? Harris?
All right, we have a quorum, so we can go on with the agenda here. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Are there any corrections, additions to the meeting minutes of January 27th? All right, hearing none, Councilwoman Pagano moves to approve the minutes, seconded by Councilman Shuldroff. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, the meeting minutes are approved.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is special presentations. On the agenda is a proclamation for Black History Month. City Clerk, if you are ready, can you please read the proclamation?
Apologize. Whereas February is recognized as Black History Month, a time to honor and celebrate the profound contributions that African Americans have made throughout history of the United States. And whereas 2025 theme for Black History Month, African Americans and Labor, serves a powerful reflection on the pivotal role that the hard work and resilience of African Americans have played in shaping our nation's history. Whereas from the agricultural labor of enslaved Africans that formed the foundation of our country's economy to the established Black Wall Street, a shining example of economic empowerment and cooperative collaboration. Whereas the history and ongoing contributions of African Americans to labor and the workforce are integral to the strength, resilience, and progress of our city, state, and nation. Now therefore, I, Timothy J. Lowry, Mayor of the City of Florissant, Missouri, and members of the City Council do hereby proclaim the month of February to be Black History Month. I encourage all residents to honor and reflect upon the enduring contributions of African Americans to our shared history, particularly their significant role in labor, economic empowerment, and the fight for justice.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Mayor Lowry has a statement that he would like to make.
Thank you. I'd like to read a statement. The City of Florissant is proud to honor and celebrate Black History Month, a time to reflect on the incredible contributions of Black Americans to our nation's history, culture, and progress. From local leaders to historic figures, the impact of the Black community is felt in every aspect of our lives. This month reminds us to acknowledge the strength, resilience, and achievements of those who have shaped our society. We celebrate their legacy, and we commit to continued efforts towards equality, unity, and opportunity for all. Today, together, we embrace diversity, learn from the past, and work toward a brighter, more inclusive future for everyone in Florissant. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor. All right, so next on the agenda, we have hearing from citizens. This is a time to speak to the council on any issue not necessarily on the agenda for 3 minutes. This is not a question and answer period. If you would like to speak to a council member or the mayor, please stay until after the meeting is over. If you are here to speak on a public hearing, please wait and speak when the public hearing is announced. Look like we have one card. Ms. Jubin Lee. If you can, please come forward, state your name again and your address, please.
My name is Jubin Lee, live in 5 Regina Court. Actually, I put the card for the agenda number 10 and 10040. But while you're explaining about 3-minute hearing, I would like to bring up stuff. Saying related to 140, I didn't see any bill at the online, so it doesn't making validity about 24 hours open to the public, and we discussed today for agenda. I don't see these council members doesn't understand the, transaction, not transaction, Transparency Act law. It is between citizen and government, transparency. But doesn't show the bill, not even using any screen or anything. You guys are just reading. I read it, I called twice, kind of a manner. And mainly why you guys not doing financial report? In the law, monthly reporting is required. But you guys are not doing any financial report for transparency requirement. And just doing minutes, I watched the council meeting on the December 9th. Ended in 14 minutes. I love wife, my marriage anniversary. And you guys paid 800, 500 per meeting? You think it's not wasted? So you guys have to answering what is the transparency between government and citizen. You guys are between them and have to working hard. But I see you guys are not transparent and just stealing money away and wasting citizens' fund. Not doing finance report at all is the biggest problem. This is what I see. And I see all kinds of, I've been digging up all kinds of papers here, and you guys report it to upper level, all perjury is happening. So how do we know? You guys are doing something wrong, transfer something wrong. There, I couldn't check any transparency way because you guys are not doing any financial report. So I don't know who's measuring 3 minutes, but I see this city is not legally valid anything. I was fighting for hot shower in Civic Center for years. And seeing you guys, raise your salary, and I'm not getting a hot shower after, swimming. Do you think you guys are managing good?
I'm sorry, Ms. Lee, your 3 minutes are up. All right, so I think we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is communications, which there are none. The next item on the agenda is public hearings. We have public hearing number 2502002. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public hearing notice? Yes.
In accordance with Section 405180 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 10, 2025 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To rezone the property located at 2700 Malamphy Lane from NU non-urban to a PDR Planned Development Residential District, citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk at florissantmo.com.
All right, if the petitioner is present, can you please come forward? If you can, sir, please state your name and city of residence.
Sure. Let's get this. Max Ladd, 17415 North Outer 40, Chesterfield, Missouri.
All right. If you can, please tell us about the project here.
Sure. So good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Max Ladd. I'm with McBride Homes tonight to tell you guys about our new project in the city of Florissant, River Bluffs. So just a little bit of history on McBride. We're the largest home builder in Missouri. We've been in business for over 75 years. We're currently building in over 40 communities across the St. Louis area. We have substantial strength and stability. We also currently have 2 communities in the city, Riverstone and Coke Park, with over a couple hundred lots. Right here is a picture of the site outlined in yellow that we're talking about tonight. A little bit more information on the property. So currently the property is 47.18 acres. Of that 47 acres that was currently outlined in yellow, About 16.97 of those acres we're proposing to convey to the city for future park ground to add to that area. And then 30 acres of that will be retained for the actual development. This property is subject to a development agreement that was previously agreed upon with the city and us that kind of outlines the design and everything that we're talking about tonight. There was 43 acres previously conveyed to the city, so the original size of the property was about 90 acres. The site's primarily surrounded by single-family residential, and tonight we're seeking a rezoning from non-urban to PDR and a preliminary development plan approval. Here's the zoning map for the area. You can see that it's primarily surrounded by R3 and R4. Here's the preliminary plat. So you can kind of see the different products, the Bayside product, the Oakwood product, and then the Heritage Series. You can also see the new infrastructure. There's a 10-foot wide multi-use trail that we'll talk a little bit more about that we've been working with the city on. It's kind of on the left-hand side below the street, and then there's also a section in the bottom right that'll tie in, go to the left, and then run around that cul-de-sac, and then dead end. The city has some plans to utilize that as well. Up on the upper end of the map, you can kind of see that lighter shade of green. That would be that 17 acres-ish that we would be dedicating to the city for that future park ground area. We've also put in a little strip that you can kind of see on the curve that will be access to that park ground for a trailhead or to bring that trail through there. Some other features, so in total, there's 136 lots. The breakdown's 56 of the Heritage Series, 57 of the Bayside, and then 23 of the Oakwood. There's great access from Bluff Parks Drive and Malamphy, new streets, new sidewalks, that 10-foot wide multi-use trail. There's 3.5 acres of common ground, just because in that map, everything we're dedicating it as park ground. So the 3.5 acres is just a couple of buffer strips, and then the basin to the south. And then the 17 acres to be dedicated to the city. So the PDR zoning, so we're seeking this because it allows some flexibility in the layout, efficient access, allowing to cluster those homes that maximize that park ground dedication. And then open space between new home sites and neighboring residential lots. Density, so PDR zoning does allow for 6 units per acre. The surrounding neighborhoods, like I mentioned before, are R3 and R4, which allow 4.3 and 5.8 acres. The current site and the plan that we're showing you tonight is showing 3.3 acres, which is based on that 47 acres. In that development agreement, it does say we can use the total original acreage, which would come out to 1.8, but we're showing 3.3. And then the lower density allows for 53% of the woodlands to be preserved. Again, that's primarily in that park ground area, 3.5 acres of common ground, and then we'd be adding 17 acres to that park ground dedication. We do feel that our project is consistent with the city's comprehensive goal, especially number 3. Some of the other points that are called out in the city's comprehensive plan is some aging housing stock, that 900 to 1,600 square foot, primarily ranch style homes. And then we'd be adding, an upscale new residential community with some larger homes on it. So a little bit about the product that we would be offering. So 3 different series, the Bayside and Oakwood product, single family, the Heritage Series, which is our detached villa product. They're a little bit smaller, but each series has a ranch, a 1.5 story and 2-story models to offer. 2 and 3 car garages are standard with 3-car garage options, primarily in that Bayside and Oakwood product. Open floor plans, modern features, walk-in closets, big islands, 9-foot basement pours. Each house will come with a fully sodded yard and the landscape package. Each model has multiple different elevations on it as well, several brick, several stone elevations, several siding, farmhouse elevations, all that good stuff. So here's some images of the Heritage Series. This is that detached villa product, the smaller of the three. Here's some of the elevations for the Bayside Series. Here's some of the Oakwood ones. These are the ones that we overlooking, those lots overlooking kind of the bluff area, that park ground area. The design studio, so we have an award-winning design studio. Every person that buys a house through us, they'll get to go to the design studio, meet with a professional design consultant, pick out cabinets, flooring, countertops, brick, stone, appliances, everything, and really put it all together and customize and personalize their house. So rezoning and development plan approval, the River Bluffs project is consistent with the city's comprehensive plan and PDR zoning, as well as that development agreement that we talked about. We believe we're bringing new and modern housing to the city. The staff does recommend approval. Again, touching on that development agreement that's kind of outlining the parameters of this project. We believe will be complementary to the area, fit right in, and we're seeking a favorable recommendation tonight. Any questions?
So, we have a couple questions here. Let's start with Councilman Manganelli.
Thank you, Mr. President. Actually, I defer to questions and some of those other council up here. I just want to say the managers at Coke Park or whatever, that's my ward, and I've been welcoming the new residents as their homes have been built.
Sure.
And I just want to thank you that several of the homeowners are current Florissant residents that moved from their smaller homes. They were looking for something new, something modern, and we were able to fulfill their needs here in Florissant. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Manganelli. Next, we'll go to Councilman Egan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I wish if you would just take a few moments and expand a little bit on the accessibility to the parks and to the trail. That lower trail on Avenue B at the cul-de-sac, where will that dump out into? Is that current common ground for the adjoining subdivision?
Sure. So let me pull up the
Please.
plan here.
Yes.
So you can see my cursor here. So we've been working with the city pretty closely as far as setting this property up for the future connectivity of
Right.
the trail. There isn't a set plan yet for the city. I mean, they're working with, they're figuring that out still. So,
Right.
but we basically put in this section in here, which would eventually, I'm not sure what the plan is over here, but the city has a plan to kind of bring a trail kind of down through here, but it's in the preliminary stages, and where that actually is, I don't know. And then there's another 10-foot section that kind of runs through here
Right.
and then out. Where this one goes, I'm not sure exactly, but I think the plan is to kind of connect this spot up into here somehow.
So at the top of the screen where your cursor is, that little green section, lighter green section, is that where the access to the park would be, or the parkland, I should say?
Yeah, so this strip of ground would also be dedicated as the park ground, so they would have access out to the public roadway.
And would that be access for the general public or just for the people that live in that subdivision?
No, it would be public, so it would be access for anybody.
All right, thank you very much. That's all I have. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Egan. Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, welcome, Mr. Ladd.
Thank you.
I have one question. Is all the electric is underground, correct,
Correct.
on each subdivision?
Yep.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Caputa. Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I just want to touch on Mr. Egan's question about where that comes out there. That's Woodside Plat, which is a private still HOA. own common grounds like 13 acres all the way around. And I know that there's a conversation going on about how to utilize that. I know there's flexibility. McBride has been flexible with that, so it's kind of exciting. There's been some neighbors that have been in on that conversation. What's neat about it is that currently you can't get from there over to like Malamphy Park very easily unless you walk down Lindsay Lane and then around. But with this trail, it kind of connects, you know, from Coke to here, then over to Malamphy, then to Sunset. It kind of connects everything together, which is sort of the master comprehensive plan, like you mentioned, to connect all the parks. So it's really,
nice.
Really a sort of a plan that's encompassing. So that's neat to see. So I just wanted to address that. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Councilman Harris. Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hi, Mr. Ladd.
Hi.
Welcome. Maybe I missed it, forgive me if I did, but how many homes will be actually on the bluffs?
In the whole subdivision or just on the bluffs?
Just on the bluffs. Is there an approximate, or do you have that?
Looks like 20 or 30s, like that, without counting.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's just
20
kind of a ballpark
20 to
in that
30.
area. And those would be the upper end homes of what?
Yeah, so this darker shade, these are the upper end ones, and then this is kind of the, this is the next step down, but this is the product that we're building in Coke Park and Riverstone. And then this product here, this is a new product to Florissant. We've had great success with it. Build them in Eureka and all over the place, and they're very well liked.
That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Mr. O'Donnell. All right. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Ms. Lee, if you would like to come forward.
You mean just sit down, or?
Actually, you probably have to stand there. There might be some
Sure.
questions you'll have to answer.
I'm really not asking about this project, but I'm just asking the management of that. This looks like a big, population is gonna be added. So I know you guys, divide by Ward 9, the thing way. So how does it gonna be managed? Same ward, or you're gonna be redivide the ward, or anything planned?
At this point, there's no plans for a change of the ward boundaries. That's always evaluated whenever we do a census. But particularly tonight, we're specifically talking about the project and any questions that can be answered by Mr. Ladd. So do you have any questions for Mr. Ladd?
No, that's okay.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, you can come forward, ma'am. If you can, please state your name and city of residence.
Kathy Wilson, I live in Florissant. You want my
Okay.
address?
No, the city is fine.
So I have a question. So on those different colored,
I'm sorry, ma'am, no one can hear you. Can you please talk into the microphone, please?
sure.
Okay.
On that plot, I'm just curious, on the different colors, so does that, so you said the darker ones, those are the higher end? Are people restricted to that?
Yeah, so we would only offer certain models on the respectable lot sizes.
I'm just curious why that is.
Mr. Ladd, I'm sorry, I need you to talk. I know it's you
We'll
guys are going to
share
have
it.
to
We'll
alternate
share it.
here, yeah.
Go ahead.
We just designed the bigger lots for the bigger houses and then so forth, so it's that's just what we do.
What is the approximate lot size?
Sure, so they range from the minimum's 4,000 up to like, I got my notes here.
4,000. That's little.
Up to 8,000, so.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, so seeing no further comments, Councilman Caputo moves to close this public hearing. seconded by Councilman Harris. All those in favor? All those opposed? That motion is carried and this public hearing is closed. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Ladd.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have public hearing number 2502003. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public hearing notice?
In accordance with Section 405.125 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 10, 2025 at 7 p.m. on the following proposition. To allow for a special use permit for Moath Jordan LLC, DBA Jordan Fish and Chicken Grill, to allow for a carry-out restaurant in the B3 Extensive Business District for the property located at 739A North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact the city clerk at least 5 days before set public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissant.com.
All right, is the petitioner present here this evening? Sir, if you can, please step forward, state your name and city of residence.
Hanok Mahari from City of Florissant.
All right, sir, can you please tell us a little bit about your project here this evening?
So it's planned to be a carry-out restaurant. We're going to have fried foods, fried chicken wings, fried chicken tenders, fried fish, hot sandwiches, small appetizers that'll go with that, fries, other appetizers.
Okay. We do have some questions from Mr. Manganelli, so we'll be coming forward.
All right.
Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. President, and welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. I just had a couple quick questions reading over. What are your hours going to be?
It's going to be 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., 7 days a week.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I saw that. And then I guess my biggest concern is just all the grease that you're, oil you're going to be going through, frying everything. What are your procedures as far as handling the oil? Are you going to? I'm imagining you're going to have a bin behind the restaurant.
So I've worked in this type of restaurant for many years, and my partner behind me has worked here in this type of restaurant for even longer than me. So we do filter the grease on a period basis every week, and then we would also, when it needs to be disposed, we would take it out to a special bin in the back, and it would be placed there, and we would have a company come and take it wherever, every so often, as it stated in the contract or whenever it's filled.
Okay. And then how often do you clean the grease trap in the restaurant? And the reason I ask is got other restaurants that are similar to yours, the tenants next to the restaurant, if that's not done in a regular fashion, they get an odor that permeates into their spot.
Yes, that's correct. So I'd say it depends on usage, but, probably no more than I'd say like 8 or 10 weeks.
Okay. It's a fun job, I know,
Yeah.
when I worked in restaurants.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, and I appreciate you taking over a space that was basically empty and bringing us another place to eat.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Manganelli. Sir, I just have a couple follow-up questions. You mentioned earlier that you have had other restaurants. Are those still in operation, or?
I work personally at
You work.
restaurants, but never in an ownership capacity, probably at most managing,
Okay.
but not in the city of Florissant.
Not in the city of Florissant, in the St. Louis area?
In the St. Louis area, yes.
Okay. What about your partner? Has he done the same?
He currently owns a restaurant in Delwood, and it's a family-owned restaurant, so
Okay.
he's worked there with his family for at least 10 plus years, probably.
All right. What's the name of that restaurant? Do you know?
JJ's Fish and Chicken Grill
JJ's.
on
Okay.
West Florissant.
Okay, understood. All right, thank you so much. I have no further questions. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? All right, seeing no further comments, Councilman Manganelli moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That motion carried and this public hearing is closed. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. All right, next we have public hearing number 2502004. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public hearing notice?
Yes, sir. In accordance with Section 405-125 of the Florissant Zoning Code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 10, 2025, at 7 p.m. on the following propositions. To amend special use number 8405 for Toasted Up LLC DBA Toast Time to allow for Sunday operating hours in an existing B3 Extensive Business District for the property located at 12781 New Halls Ferry Road. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs should contact City Clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissantlaw.com.
Thank you so much. Is the petitioner present? If you can, please come forward. Please state your name and city of residence.
My name is Brandy Gasson, and I'm a Florissant resident as well.
Okay. Please tell us about your project.
So we want to expand on Sundays, just for like to be open 7 days a week. Football watching, basketball, sports times will be open. It'll be not the full day, so like 2 to maybe no later than 11. So just to have Sunday options, early games, evening games, try to do some type of happy hour special just to be open on Sunday because we don't have too many options on Sundays for that type of crowd.
Okay. I noticed in the public hearing you guys were requesting hours from 9 a.m. to midnight, and you're
It'll
kind
be
of asking
between those, but we won't be open to midnight. The latest it'll probably be given is 11 on a Sunday.
11 on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then I know on the prior passage of the hearing notice, you guys had the times that opened up at 8 a.m. Are you ever opened at 8 a.m.
No.
at any time during the week?
No, sir.
Okay. What is the typical
Typical
time?
hours during the week, 1 or 2 p.m., and then we're closed by midnight.
By midnight,
But
not
it'd be
1?
early on Sunday, yeah. Sunday will be our latest. Our earliest we'll close, which will be no later than 11 o'clock.
Okay. Will you guys have any, do you guys have any hookah while you're
We don't.
You don't?
We no
Have
longer
you
have that
ever-
anymore. We can't do it anymore, so we're not even going to push for it. We're not doing it.
There was some time period in the past that you did have?
Yeah, but it was a misunderstanding, but we no longer have it. We don't have hookah, we don't have cigarette smoke, none of that and above. Yeah.
Okay. Do you plan any special events on Sundays?
We'll try to. So I'm open to events. We've had requests for maybe private birthday parties early, like brunch time. So that was one of the reasons why we wanted to open up on Sundays and a little bit early. But other than that, just maybe for sports events, nothing too extravagant. If it is requested for a birthday party, that's why I said no later than 11. But it's ranging between 1 and 2 p.m. if open for availability.
Okay. But no special events where you sell tickets or anything?
Oh,
like
no,
that?
sir. None of that. No, sir.
Okay. Then obviously there's a lot of activity in that strip mall.
That strip mall,
We want to make sure that we're keeping our city clean. Would like you to commit to making sure that you guys are cleaning up after your customers.
Mm-hmm.
You're open, 7 days a week, so we want to make sure the parking lots are maintained. I know it's not all you,
Mm-hmm.
but just if you can commit to doing your part, that would
Okay.
be wonderful.
No problem.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
We have some more questions here.
Okay.
Councilman Egan?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening. Can you tell me your name again?
It's Brandy Gaston.
Oh, so obviously you're not Edgar Young. then,
No,
correct?
sir.
How are you related to the business?
I'm a business associate. I've been around there for a while, basically family. I mean, I can make a few decisions if need be. I don't work there, but I can stand in the forefront if availability. If he's not there, I can't speak.
And that would be he being Mr. Young?
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why he's not here this evening?
He had a prior engagement, and I think he forgot about it, so I told him I'd step in. I did know about this meeting. I was gonna come with him regardless, and then when he told me that I couldn't come, then I just came and spoke on his behalf.
Okay, well,
Mr. Egan, I'm sorry, just to interrupt. They did call ahead of time to confirm that she would be appearing on his behalf.
oh,
just
okay,
so
very
you
good. I
know.
was not aware of that. I apologize. Anyway, welcome here. So I got a couple questions.
Okay.
I went up there on Sunday morning, and I know that our requirements are only 15% of the windows can be screened.
Okay.
It appears to be more than that to me. There's a big box that covers the windows, and then there's some drapes. So, you have any comment on that?
So as far as like, are you saying we need to take the drapes down, or because I know we have the LED lights, and then to the right, it's a wall right there, and then we have that window. It's not even a window; that's a whole wall. So if you're going to the right towards the liquor store, that's like I guess you can call it a fake wall because you can't see out of there. We can only see out of that front window where the curtains are. If that makes any sense. Like if you walk in the building to the left, that's a wall to the right.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. I'm just, how often are those drapes closed?
We're closed. The window is tinted. I mean, it could be open if possible. We've never had a reason to open and close them. It keeps the sunlight out, but if need be, do we need to keep them open? Is that your question,
We'll
or?
probably have to check with staff on that. I know that we can only have so much that has to be open from, you can only have 15%, I think,
Okay.
as covered, and it appeared to be more than that.
Okay.
And talk to me, if you will, about your surveillance system you have in there. You have a camera system in there?
We do. So we have a camera system outside the door, inside the building, and also on the side of the building going down that hill towards the catering. And we do have a camera system inside as well.
So you have cameras both inside and outside?
Yes.
Now, I know there was a couple years ago, there was an issue with, I think there was a shooting on the parking lot. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And-
That was at the other end of the plaza. Yeah.
And did you guys cooperate with the
We
law?
did.
Okay, because I was told by law enforcement that you guys did not cooperate with giving your footage to them.
So at that time, I do remember that they were having problems with an outside camera, and they had did work on the building. So the one on the side actually, I guess somebody either dropped something, but it actually fell. We gave them all the questions, we answered that we could, but as far as like the surveillance, I don't know what was going on with the camera at that time, but they couldn't physically give them the information because it was not working at that time. And they even told us then that it needed to be fixed. But whatever questions they had, we most definitely we didn't give them any problems. They answered any questions. Whoever was there answered any questions that they could.
Now, a question for the city attorney. Can we write into this ordinance that they're required to maintain cameras both inside and outside that are always working, and they do cooperate with law enforcement when requested to do so? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, ma'am.
Would the applicant be willing to accept those stipulations?
Okay, so if I asked you if you'd be willing to ensure that you have a camera system operating at all times, both in and outside, number one, and number two, would you be willing to cooperate with law enforcement when they request that?
Yes,
Okay.
that should be a problem.
So how do we proceed? Do I amend the ordinance? Okay, we'll amend it next meeting. All right, very good. That's all I got. Thank you very much, and
No
good
problem,
luck.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Egan. All right, before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Okay, seeing no further comments, Councilman Egan moves to close this public hearing, seconded by myself. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? This public hearing is closed. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next public hearing, number 2502005. Madam Clerk, can you please read the public hearing notice?
Yes, sir. In accordance with Section 405-125 of the Florissant zoning code, a public hearing will be held by the City Council of Florissant, Missouri, in the council chambers at 955 Rue St. Francois on Monday, February 10th, 2025, at 7 p.m. on the following proposition: to allow for a special use permit for Kelly Ray DBA SDL Boxing to allow for a fitness center greater than 2,000 feet in a B3 extensive business district for the property located at 750 North Highway 67. Citizens will have an opportunity to be heard. Anyone with special needs to contact the city clerk at least 5 days before said public hearing by calling 839-7630 or email cityclerk@florissant.com.
All right, if the petitioner is present, if you can, please come forward and state your name and city of residence.
My name's Kelly Ray, and I'm from Florissant.
Okay. And if you can, please tell us about your project.
Okay. So I did send an email to you guys, so I'm not sure how many people were able to read it, but just kind of a review of some of it. My name is Kelly Ray. I'm the co-owner and one of the head coaches of STL Boxing Academy. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys today to share who we are and what we stand for and the positive impact we tend to bring to the Florissant community. The gym is run by myself, my husband, and a small team of dedicated fighters who share our passion for mentoring and community impact. We take great pride in the positive role we played in the lives of our members, and we're excited about the opportunity to bring the same commitment to Florissant. At STL Boxing Academy, we work with a wide range of individuals: youth, seniors, individuals with disabilities, amateur fighters, and professional athletes. But we're more than just a gym. We identify as an academy with our focus on teaching the art and discipline of boxing. We operate as a private, appointment-based facility where training is intentional, structured, and personalized. While we welcome people of all skill levels, our core approach is one-on-one coaching, allowing us to support both mental and physical development of our members. Our group classes are designed to complement this individual attention, assuring every client receives the focus that they need to grow. One of the questions that was previously raised regarding how we plan to host fights at our facility. To be clear, we do not and we never have hosted fights. Our athletes, including our most well-known fighter, Joaquin Buckley, currently ranked number 6 in the world in the UFC, compete on major televised platforms like ESPN and pay-per-view in large arenas with thousands of spectators. Our facility is solely designated to training and development, and we have no interest in promoting or hosting fights. I'd also like to clarify that while zoning regulations include provisions for exhibition and professional fights, this language was already voted on and agreed upon in Florissant for gyms. We were informed that it needs to remain in place so that if we were ever to relocate in the future, another gym occupying the space would already have that zoning in effect. However, St. Louis Boxing Academy has no intention of hosting fight events at our facility. Our focus remains solely on training, mentorship, and personal development. Another topic that came up is our 24-hour availability. The nature of combat sports depends on flexibility, especially for professional athletes. For instance, Joaquin's last fight in Tampa had him competing at midnight on ESPN, so his training schedule had to reflect that. Additionally, many of our amateur fighters work full-time jobs, which means early mornings or late nights, the only time they're able to train. Our 24-hour structure is not about being open to random public around the clock. It's about providing private, controlled access to our members and clients, ensuring they receive the best possible training in a focused environment. Beyond developing skilled athletes, STL Boxing Academy is committed to fostering discipline, confidence, and mental resilience in everyone who walks through our doors. Our training protocols are strict, emphasizing both physical conditioning and mental preparation. This ensures that our academy remains a safe, structured space for personal growth, whether that's for competition, fitness, or self-improvement. Thank you again for your time, and I look forward to discussing how STL Boxing Academy can be a valuable addition to this community.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Ray. We do have a couple of council members who have questions, so let's go with Councilman O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, Ms. Ray.
Good evening.
Thank you for taking my call today, and I enjoyed meeting you just before the meeting. I know we talked about a few things relative to your presentation, and maybe we could just kind of go over them again for everyone. So we were talking in terms, and the question was how many students would be there at any given time? And mostly you do a one-on-one kind of
Correct.
situation?
Yeah, so typically we do mostly one-on-one. We do have small classes. Currently, the classes we have usually are about 10 to 12 people. I believe our occupancy is 80. We would never have anything close to that. I couldn't see us ever doing more than 30, honestly. I think 30 would be pretty excessive because we work so much on everybody being individually worked with.
And just in terms of the layout, you said you had one boxing ring and then some other additional type?
Yeah, so currently how we plan to lay out the floor plan is we would have one boxing ring in there for training purposes, and then we'd have a lot of mats and heavy bags, things like that along the side. We would have some cardio equipment, which would be a couple of assault bikes and a couple of treadmills, but it wouldn't be like a club fitness or crunch fitness because that'd be more or less for people warming up and cooling down versus just coming there to work out.
And with regard to the 24 hours, in any given time period, say any given month, do you anticipate that it'll be every day like that, like all night, or will it be like you were, I think what you were saying is based on people's schedules, there may be people overnight at different times, but on any given 30-day period, would you say that that would be a few days, several days, all of those days? How do you think that might work out?
Currently, how we have it now, the gyms that we're at, most people I feel like are usually done by 8 or 9 o'clock. Once again, it's usually based off people who have a very specific fight. Like the fighter I was speaking on, he was fighting on ESPN at midnight. His usual schedule with us is about 2 p.m. but being that he needed to fight at midnight, he needed to be able to prepare himself and be able to fight and be prepared at midnight when he fought in Tampa. So we did that for about 2 weeks. So I couldn't imagine people being there 24 hours or even really at midnight. It was just like an option that we're going to get professional fighters or people who are working, but I couldn't imagine happening it every day.
So this will mostly be on an individual need
Yeah.
kind of a situation?
Absolutely, yes.
Gotcha. And then I know we kind of went over that, the exhibition, and the approval was that you would be able to do exhibitions, but in your email you stated you wouldn't do any promotion of fights or anything, and with the zoning it allowed you to have exhibitions, but you don't have any interest in people being watched while they're boxing, or in inviting people in, or any kind of admission, or it just doesn't exist like that. I'm telling you what to say, but I guess am I asking you to elaborate on that?
Yes, so as we said, our professional fighters fight in large venues with thousands of fighters. I'm not sure if anybody here is a UFC fan, but we were actually at the Enterprise Center. He was the co-main, and it was sold out. It was the highest grossing at the Enterprise Center here in St. Louis. So with that being said, there's no reason we would ever want to go from a situation where we're going to the Enterprise Center to a building off Lindbergh in Florissant.
Gotcha.
The amateur fighters we have, I believe, you discussed that earlier, it needs to be in a sanctioned event. So that's not something my husband and I want to do at all. That's not our interest. Our passion is boxing and teaching. That's why we call ourselves an academy. We are not in any form, shape do we want to promote or host fights. So that's not something we'd want to get into at all.
Okay. Well, thank you for your interest in. It sounds like a very interesting project. I wish you the best, and thank you for answering your questions. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman O'Donnell. Next, we'll go to Councilman Harris.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks for being here, and I want to let you know that I did get your email. I thought it was very insightful to prepare for this, to understand what the project is. So there's not much different I'm hearing tonight that your email didn't explain. So sounds like you're prepared to do what you need to do, and you have a business plan that works. I did have a question about, is this a multiple location type of situation? Like this is a second or third location, or are you moving into this space?
We'd be moving into this space. Everything we do right now is more remote or out of other gyms.
Okay.
When we originally started in 2020, we were just helping people during COVID outside, and this is something that my husband and I have been passionate about for a very long time. I have a degree in marketing, and he was head of security at the Cardinal Stadium, and when everything shut down, we just kind of got into this, and it just blew up, and we need a space that's dedicated for just us. And a lot of our clientele are in the North County area, and I live in Florissant myself, so I thought that'd be the best place to have it.
It's very cool.
Yes.
So I look forward to seeing where it goes from here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Harris. Next, we go to Councilman Egan.
Thank you. My questions have been answered. Thank you.
Okay. Then we will go on to Councilman Caputa.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one question. Is this both boxing and MMA?
Yes.
Okay, so you have dual training at the same time?
So currently, we specialize in boxing. When you're an MMA fighter, our passion is boxing. When you're an MMA fighter, boxing gyms tend to not want to work with you. So boxing is a huge part of mixed martial arts. It's one of the arts. So we work with mixed martial arts fighters, teaching them how to box, like the footwork of boxing, how to strike properly. I personally do not know how to teach them how to kick or wrestle. That's not what I do. So currently we do not do that because that's not what we do. We just do bring them in there to teach them how to strike.
Got any hockey players on your clientele?
We actually do. We've had, my husband was sick, so he didn't get to make it today, unfortunately. He'll be at the next one. But we did have actually several, he knows which hockey players. We have several hockey players that do come to us, actually professional blues players as well. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Caputa. I just have a couple follow-up questions. You mentioned that you would be doing training with elderly and special needs. I think you said children also. They're going to be training in boxing, or is it more that they're doing things for health-wise or health reasons?
Both.
Both? Okay.
So you can, in Missouri, in the United States, you can start fighting at the age of 8 competitively, if you'd like. The thing that sets us apart from other gyms is, once again, we're back to teaching. We didn't grow up in the rec centers. We just had a passion for the sport and teaching and studying it. So we make sure that anybody that enters the ring, whether they're a child or they're an adult, if that's why they're there, it will be to make sure they're both mentally and physically prepared. Because you could be an amazing athlete, which a lot of the kids are that compete at these events. The difference between our kids and their kids is our kids are athletic and they are mentally strong. So we don't allow fighters to go in there and fight trauma. They got to understand it's a sport. And if they can't which you can tell pretty quickly if somebody's in there and they had a bad day or something that went on. Like, this is a sport, and that's the reason our fighters do so well, between that and our one-on-ones. The very first time we did anything, we went to nationals. We took a girl from the Army with no fights. We gave her 2 fights in St. Louis, and she went to nationals within 1 year with working us. So we have multinational champions. We have about 5, which is not talking about anybody else in St. Louis, but like, that's more than anybody in St. Louis by far. And we've only been doing it a couple years.
Well, that's certainly impressive. I guess my next question is when you have children and elderly, I assume that everybody has to sign some sort of waiver, or a parent has to sign some sort of waiver for children?
Yes. So to have the insurance that we have for our gym, you have to have a waiver. So we have a waiver that's already written up by a lawyer. And a lot of the kids, I would say like 98, 95, 98% of the kids are not there to fight. They're there a lot of times because they're being bullied. We have hockey players, like kids that play hockey. We have one of the top kids that play basketball in the nation. He comes there to get confidence to make him better basketball players. So a lot of them aren't there to fight. There's a very, very small group that actually wants to compete. A lot of them are just there for confidence and anti-bullying, or maybe they have anger issues, or their parents want them to have better mentors and role models.
Okay. Well, I have no further questions. Thank you so much, Ms. Ray, for your answers. Before we close this public hearing, is there anyone in the audience who would like to comment on this public hearing? Okay, seeing no further comments, Councilman Harris moves to close this public hearing, seconded by Councilman Siam. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried, and this public hearing is closed. Thank you so much, Ms.
Thank
Ray.
you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is old business, and the first item is bills for second reading, of which there are none. The next item on the agenda is new business, and the first item under new business is board appointments, and it looks like we have some appointments from the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wish to reappoint Hector Nunez from Ward 4 and Tom Wilkinson from Ward 1 to the Senior Commission.
We have a motion to approve by Councilman Caputa, seconded by Councilman Egan. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? The appointment is made.
Thank you. That's all I have.
The next item on the agenda is request. We have a request to postpone the item for the liquor license from the business V-Nail Lounge. I make a motion that we postpone this to our next regular meeting, which is, let me see the date, February the 24th. Anybody have a second for that? Seconded by Councilman Manganelli. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? And that item is postponed. The next item was postponed from the last meeting, and it's Gossip Pasta LLC. Is the petitioner here? Okay. If you can, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the agenda. Anybody want to second? Seconded by Councilman Egan. Ma'am, if you can come forward, please. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? That motion is carried. Okay. How are you this evening?
I am so good. What about you guys?
I'm doing fantastic.
Good.
We have some questions from Councilman Egan, who is
Okay.
to my left here.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. And you are Kiana, is that true?
I am.
Am I saying it correctly?
Kiana Chapel.
Thank you very much. So that is my ward, and you and I talked on the phone a little bit.
Okay.
So when you came and applied for a transfer of a special use permit, we did not call you up. And I, in my opinion, when you transfer of special use is essentially you're going to run the business the same way that you're buying the business and you're going to run it the same way. And so I kind of want to make sure, number one, since we're trying to amend it a little bit here, that we're still keeping with the spirit of running the business the same way. I've been going to that business for, I don't know, 30 years.
Okay.
I've been in there hundreds of times. So you're basically, as you told me on the phone, this is a chicken wing, pizza, pasta kind of carry-out place, right?
Well, dine in.
And there are times you see people dining. It's a very, very tiny dining room. It's very small. So you're not going to have waiters and waitresses, is that correct?
Well, we decided that we're going to send people to the tables to bring out the foods like we've always done at our previous locations, just so that, when they're seated, we'll just be bringing the food out.
And so then the idea is you'll go up there, you order at the counter, and then I'll go sit down, and then you'll bring the food to me.
Yes, unless it's takeout. So we'll
Right.
offer dine in or takeout.
Okay. And I know that when I've gone up there, my wife and I go get a pizza and a salad and go to the park and eat occasionally. They give us like foam plates and plastic knives and forks. Is that what you're going to use, or are you going to go with silverware and china plates and all that?
I'm going to go with silverware and plates, not so much, well, we will have, of course, the takeout.
Right.
I can't even, I'm so tired, I'm sorry. We'll have the takeout boxes and all of that good stuff, but I've always served on plates.
Okay.
With forks and knives and the good stuff, So, yeah.
Okay, so when we talked on the phone, I told you it's a very, very small place, and I said that I was not necessarily opposed to beer and wine, which I'm not. And you said, well, that's what you wanted.
Yeah, initially, the owner and I, we spoke about what the previous owners had, and I think he mentioned beer and wine. I've been running restaurant for 30 years now, and I've had liquor licenses for the last 13 maybe.
Right.
So when he and I spoke, I was like, well, I like to stick with what I've always had. Like, if I can do that, then that would be good. Now, if I'm only able to get beer and wine, I said I would settle for that. But if I'm able to get a full liquor license, being in my position, why wouldn't I?
Okay. Well, to be clear, and for the record, that place has never had a liquor license of any sort. It's never had beer or wine or a full package. So once again, it seems like we're kind of beginning to deviate away from the simple transfer to a more involved restaurant than it was in the past. It's the other thing that really caused me pause was when you said that there's times you're going to set aside part of the restaurant for groups that come in and like I think you said a sorority and have gatherings and the such.
Well, I've been awarded Business Owner of the Month quite often, and what they do is they just pick a restaurant to go to.
Right.
So it could be, the occupancy there is 43, so it could be 25, 30 of them to say, hey, we want to come dine in and eat with you today, we want to support you. So that's basically what's taking place. It's not a dance floor, it's not music, I'm simply being a restaurant to sell alcohol, nothing more than that.
Okay, so you said 25 or 30. Boy, that really strikes me as being a lot of people in that very, very confined area. I believe, and I apologize I wasn't here last time, but I believe you may have told the council there'd be times groups would come in and want to play cards and stuff like that.
Well,
are those words? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah. So our mission at Gossip Pasta is to reintroduce families to the dining table. And reintroducing families to the dining table, we bring out cards, board games. That could be for kids, adults, whomever. So that's just our mission. We just have it there to, so people can enjoy themselves, converse, eat, drink, have a good time.
Okay, well, again, I'm very concerned that we're getting into more of an event center than a takeout pizza, wing, and pasta place, which is what we transferred the special use for. I'll be very candid with you. I'm not in favor of full liquor license. I told you it on the phone. This is not a surprise. I would not argue beer and wine. I think that when people want to go get a pizza and some chicken wings, at a beer or a glass of wine, and I know you said you want to do a wine-based slushy machine, but from my perspective, I don't see that. I've already had complaints in that area. The people directly behind you are actually less than 200 feet from your back door, the people in those houses back there.
Okay.
And I've had some complaints over this last year we had to deal with Solanos and the noise and the such. The bar actually is not much of a problem. And then, of course, the apartments directly to the west, I've had some complaints out of there. So as far as I'm concerned, I apologize. I will not be supporting a full liquor license. But if you come back with a beer and wine, I won't argue that one.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you so much, Councilman Egan. So I just want to clarify what's being stated here, because I know you came with the intention for a full liquor license. I know he's stating his position that he's only supporting beer and wine. So I guess what we need to know from you is, are you going to continue with the full liquor license? Because you do have an opportunity to change if you like. But if not, I'm not stopping you from asking for a full liquor license.
Again, I've been in this business for a long time, and I do a lot of things. I've never been fined for selling alcohol to minors and things of that nature. As a matter of fact, my name is Kiana, but the public deem me Queen. Queen for personality, Queen for bringing people together, and just all of those things. So having said that, I don't ever see it being an issue. I am a contractor for the NFL. I have them to come through and support me all the time. So I was thinking, like, if they do come through, like, I'll be able to serve them, alcohol or whatever it is that they need. Not so much as an event space, but just a place to dine and drink, like Applebee's, like, what's my favorite place? Texas Roadhouse, places like that. So nothing more than that. With age, I've done all of that. I've run a bar before, so I'm past that. I'm so past that. Like, that means I have to stay up all night. So I'm past that part of my life. We'll see. I kind of fight for what I want, and
Okay.
so I'll probably.
I'm not trying to convince you.
No.
Yeah, so.
I'll probably come back and try again. It just happens like that. I mean, so, like, I guess my question is, if I decline, if full liquor licenses are out the question, and then there's beer and wine, do I have to come back and apply for that, or are we going to settle that now?
Well, I don't think you can necessarily have it both ways. I think if you apply for the full liquor license and you're denied, you have to reapply for the beer and wine.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't really, so initially when applying, I think there was maybe only an open spot for full liquor licenses, because I was okay with beer and wine initially, because it's still alcohol, it's giving the people something. So I think it was said that it was just the full liquor licenses that were offered. So I think that's where Mr. Egan probably gets that from, so. But
Okay.
yeah.
So I have to ask one more time, just
Okay.
for clarity. Are you asking for the full liquor license?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And that's fine. So now we'll go to voting on the request. I will move to approve a request for a full liquor license by The Drink for Gossip Pasta LLC, located at 557 How to Shell. Is anybody like to second that? Okay, we have a second by Councilman Cyan. Madam Clerk, can you please do a roll call vote? No. All right. So unfortunately, your request for the full liquor license has failed. As I mentioned before, you can reapply for the beer and wine at a later date.
Okay.
Okay?
I get it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, so next thing on the agenda is resolutions. We have Resolution 1064. Madam Clerk, can you please read the resolution?
Yes, sir. Resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into an agreement to receive federal grant funds through the Missouri Department of Transportation for 2 buses operated for the Florissant Local Elderly Resident Transportation Program.
All right, I move for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Madam Clerk, can you please read for a second time?
Resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into an agreement to receive federal grant funds through the Missouri Department of Transportation for 2 buses operated for the Florissant Local Elderly Resident Transportation Program.
Hereby move for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Childrath. All those in favor? Aye. I'm sorry, we need a roll call vote on that.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Childrath? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Florissant to enter into agreement to receive federal grant funds through the Missouri Department of Transportation for 2 buses operated for the Florissant Local Elderly Resident Transportation Program.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this resolution? All right, hearing none, Clerk, can you please poll the council for the final vote?
Yes, sir. Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Childrath? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris? Yes.
All right, resolution number 1604 passes. All right, the next item on the agenda is bills for first reading. We have bill number 10036. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Sir. Ordinance to rezone the property located at 2700 Malamphy Lane from NU non-urban to PDR Planned Development Residential District.
We have bill number 10037. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance to amend special use number 8405 for Toasted Up LLC DBA Toast Time to allow for Sunday operating hours in the existing B3 Extensive Business District for the property located at 12781 New Halls Ray Road.
Bill number 10038. Madam Clerk.
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit for Moeth Jordan LLC DBA Jordan Fish and Chicken Grill to allow for a carryout restaurant in the B3 Extensive Business District for the property located at 739A North Highway 67.
Bill number 10039, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance authorizing a special use permit for Kelly Ray, DBA STL Boxing Academy to allow for a fitness center greater than 2,000 feet in a B3 Extensive Business District for the property located at 750 North Highway 67.
We have bill number 10040, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance authorizing amendment to Chapter 210, Title 3, Offenses by adding a new Section 210-385, False Information.
We have a motion by Councilman Childrath for a second reading. That's seconded by Councilman Egan. Is that who I heard? Okay. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Madam Clerk.
Ordinance authorizing amendment to Chapter 210, Title 3, Offenses by adding a new Section 210-385, False Information.
Councilman Childrath moves for a third reading, seconded by myself. Madam Clerk, can we please do a roll call vote, please?
Sir Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Childrath? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Yes. Harris?
Yes. Madam Clerk, can you read the bill for a third time?
Yes, sir. Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Chapter 210, Title 3, Offenses by adding a new Section 210-385, False Information.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Madam Lee, you may come forward, please. If you can, again, please state your name.
Jubin Lee, City of Florissant. So, as I mentioned earlier, I came here for this bill. You know, I never seen what it is. And you are saying just one time, second time, third time passing. So this is my question, you know, like, what is it? Where is the legal written statement what you are changing to?
Okay, the bill is posted before
Posted
the meeting
where?
today. It's posted in the hallway. It's always posted in this building.
Okay.
And I believe also, is it placed on our agenda on the website or no?
It is not.
It did not make it. Okay.
It is not. So
Properly posted.
I have been asking for online, I want to see it before I come here. And I checked the city law. It requires 24 hours, requirement to, post it.
Well, it was
Not just
it
a
was
wall,
posted.
online too, at least, but it was not
I don't think
posted.
online is required, but.
Well,
it's
so
posted.
you're posting on the hallway, that's what you're saying.
Right.
I have to hear and see first,
You're
that's, you are saying
always
that's a
welcome.
legal validity?
You're always welcome to come by 24 hours before we have a meeting to see what is posted.
Okay, so I'm not sure when did you post it? Do you have a record of it? I want to see how we count to 24 hours. Today it started at 7 p.m. here, so it was not 24 hours. We are not supposed to count to weekends or holidays and stuff.
It's actually
So I
fine.
want to see when did you post it on the hallway?
Before noon on Friday.
Before what?
Before
Noon?
noon on
She
Friday.
said before noon on Friday.
Okay, so at least, like I said, transparency and, like I asked, like how you guys are communicating for legal validity. And, like you're saying, so you posted on the hallway, why you couldn't put it online then? You already must have computerized, a statement
Ma'am,
or
we've
post a
already
thing.
stated that we're only required to post it.
I understand. I'm not saying it's required. I'm asking you why you didn't add to the police because the agenda detail was on the thing. So I was keep
Ma'am,
clicking about
do
the
you want me to
agenda.
answer your question?
What?
Okay. We have a call for a question by Mr. Egan.
Well, I didn't hear
all
what you're
those in
saying.
favor?
I don't know what that means.
All those opposed? Sorry, Ms. Lee, this item on the agenda, the discussion is now over.
I understand that. That's why I'm here, even though I
No, I
object to
said
things
the
you guys
discussion
are
is
doing,
over.
passing illegally. So I'm trying to be here to record. This meeting has been recorded all the time, so that's why I'm here, okay? Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, so anyone else would like to speak on this bill? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, can you please poll the council for the final vote?
Sir Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
All right, bill number 10040 passes and becomes ordinance number 9034. All right, next we have bill number 10041. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Chapter 245 Parks and Recreation, Section 245180, fees for use by adjusting the rental fee for the showmobile band shell.
Okay, I hereby move for a second reading. Do we have a second by anyone? Second by Councilman Manganelli. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? Madam Clerk, can you read the bill for a second time?
Ordinance authorizing an amendment to Chapter 245 Parks and Recreation, Section 245180, fees for use by adjusting the rental fee for the showmobile band shell.
Hereby move for a third reading, seconded by Councilman Shildroth. Madam Clerk, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, sir. Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
All right, Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a third time?
Yes, ordinance authorizing the amendment to Chapter 245 Parks and Recreation, Section 245180, fees for use by adjusting the rental fee for the showmobile band shell.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? You may come forward, sir. Please state your name and city of residence.
Hello, my name is Lauren Hoyt, and
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last name.
Hoyt, H-O-Y-T.
Okay.
And I just see that you are going through bills a little bit quick. I know that you haven't posted here. How we, as the public, supposed to know that there is actually bills being, that's going to affect us if we, if we come here, that's the only way that we're going to know. But if you're saying that we could put them online, why aren't we putting them online?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
The agenda is always posted online, and it always has the ordinances. This one does not have the ordinances because we're having issues with our agenda program. We're getting more space. Actually, one of the ordinances on the agenda is for an appropriation to expand the space so that we won't have this problem anymore. So they are normally always posted, but it is a requirement to post them on the board, not on a website. We do it as a courtesy.
Okay, but not everybody has time to come here and see.
It is always posted on the website. This month was a problem because we have an issue with our program.
Right, but
that is wrong.
maybe we should take a breath and be like, whoa, and stop just rushing through stuff.
That's not
Sir, we only do what we do what we're required. When it comes to posting it in the hallway, that's what the state statutes require us to do, and that's what we follow. As the clerk mentioned earlier, when we do post it on the website, it's done as a courtesy that we always try to share with our residents here, but sometimes there's issues with technology, as she explained. And of course, we try to remedy those issues as soon as possible. It just didn't occur in this situation, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay, any other comments? Okay, Ms. Lee, if you can, again, please state your name.
Okay, Jubin Lee, City of Florissant. Okay, so you're saying courtesy? This is the legal, requirement. I understand you put it in the legal, thing. So in legal, I read the city law today saying 24 hours, posted in the public, doesn't matter where. It says at least 24 hours, okay? Which means we have to have at least 24 hours and at least we opened it, but if it's something's wrong, at least has to make it. And you guys are saying, oh, this is just our courtesy? Are you joking? This law is gonna be applying to the citizen. Citizen has to know that's for legal requirement, transparency, all that law is applying for.
Ma'am, I'm showing you respect. I would ask that you respect the rest of the council. You don't have to raise your voice. We can hear you.
I'm sorry. As a former registered nurse, sometimes, following emotional is a mental health too. It's not just rude or, impolite. You are not understanding why my voice is up.
Okay, we have another motion for a question, seconded by Councilman Childraw. All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay. All right, so any other comments? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, can you please poll the council for the final vote?
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Childrath? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Yes. Harris?
All right, bill number 10041 passes and becomes ordinance number 9035. Next, we have bill number 10042. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
An ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri, authorizing and directing the submission of a ballot proposition to the qualified voters of the City of Florissant, Missouri, to consider an amendment to the charter of the City of Florissant requiring voter approval of certain land transactions concerning the City of Florissant parks.
Bill number 10043. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Yes, sir. An ordinance of the City of Florissant, Missouri, imposing a moratorium on certain land transactions concerning City of Florissant parks until the election to be held on April 7, 2026, considering an amendment to the charter of the City of Florissant to require voter approval for such land transactions.
All right, next we have Bill number 10044. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Ordinance to authorize an appropriation of $138,000 to $326 from the Park Improvement Fund to account number 20956100400230035, capital additions for the purchase of a sport court for the ice rink.
Councilman Caputa moves for a second reading, seconded by Councilman Manganelli. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a second time?
Sure. Ordinance to authorize an appropriation of $138,326 from the Park Improvement Fund to account number 20956100400230035, capitalizations for the purchase of a sport court for the ice rink.
Councilman Caputa moves for a third reading, seconded by myself. Madam Clerk, can you please do a roll call vote?
Yes. Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
All right, Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a third time?
Ordinance to authorize an appropriation of $138,326 from the Park Improvement Fund to account numbers 20956100400230035, capital additions for the purchase of the sport court for the ice rink.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? All right, hearing none, Madam Clerk, can you please poll the council for the final vote?
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Okay, bill number 10044 passes and becomes ordinance number 9036. Next, we have bill number 10045. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Ordinance authorizing amendment to Chapter 605 Business Regulations, Article 17, Residential Rental Real Estate, Sections 453 through 461 by deleting them in their entirety and replacing them.
Bill number 10046. Can you please read the bill?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperation agreement with MB Ventures LLC for the improvements to a section of Patterson Road.
We have a motion for a second reading by Councilman Caputa. That was seconded by, I believe, Councilman Manganelli. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a second time?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperation agreement with MB Ventures LLC for improvements to a section of Patterson Road.
I have a motion for a third for Councilman Caputa. We have a second by Councilman Manganelli. All those, is there any discussion? I'm sorry, no need for that. Roll call vote, please.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a third time?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a cooperation agreement with MB Ventures LLC for the improvements to a section of Patterson Road.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Yes, sir. Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Yes. Parson?
Yes.
Siam? Harris?
Bill number 10046 passes and becomes ordinance number 9037. Okay, next we have bill number 10047. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Yes, sir. Ordinance amending ordinance number 9017, adding a new job classification for part-time employees in the city of Florissant and containing an effective date clause.
I hereby move for a second reading. Do we have a second by anyone here? Seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a second time?
Ordinance amending ordinance number 9017, adding a new job classification for part-time employees of the city of Florissant and containing an effective date clause.
I hereby move for a third reading. Do you have a second? Seconded by Councilman Caputa. Madam Clerk, can we please have a roll call vote?
Yes, sir. Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Cyan? Harris?
Okay, before the final vote is taken, I'm sorry, can you please read the bill for a third time?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 9017, adding a new job classification for part-time employees of the city of Florissant and containing an effective date clause.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, please poll the council for a final vote.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa? Yes. Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Cyan? Harris?
Yes.
Okay, bill number 10047 passes and becomes ordinance number 9038. Okay, next we have bill number 10048. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $6,000 from the general revenue fund to account number 101-52450-107, software purchase and maintenance for the purchase of a server to accommodate the agenda management system for the city clerk's office.
Councilman Childrath moves for a second. That's seconded by Councilman Caputa. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a second time?
Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $6,000 from the general revenue fund to account number 101-52450-107, software purchase and maintenance for the purchase of a server to accommodate the agenda management system for the city clerk's office.
Councilman Childrath moves for a third reading, seconded by Councilman O'Donnell. Roll call vote, please.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Cyan? Harris?
Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill for a third time?
Ordinance authorizing an appropriation of $6,000 from the general revenue fund to account number 101-52450-107, software purchase and maintenance for the purchase of a server to accommodate the agenda management system for the city clerk's office.
Okay, before the final vote is taken, is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this bill? Okay, hearing none, Madam Clerk, please poll the council for the final vote.
Manganelli? Yes. Egan? Yes. Caputa?
Yes.
Shildroth? Yes. O'Donnell? Yes. Pagano? Parson?
Yes.
Cyan? Harris?
Okay, bill number 10048 passes and becomes ordinance number 9039.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bill number 10049. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Department of Transportation for the design and construction of Patterson Road from Highway 67 to Coldwater Creek Tributary Bridge.
Bill number 10050. Madam Clerk, can you please read the bill?
Ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into agreement with Missouri Department of Transportation for construction of St. Denis Phase 2.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is council announcements. Do we have anyone? Well, I will make a quick announcement here. Since we did have, it is Black History Month, I just have one Black History fact that I would like to state here today. I'll be very brief, just for all of our golfers out there. I'm going to mention Dr. George Franklin Grant, who invented the modern wooden golf tee in 1899. Dr. Grant was a dentist and an avid golfer who was tired of building sand mounds for each hole to play golf. The most common practice during that time was teeing a golf ball after resting it atop a mound of sand that was put together by water. Couldn't imagine that. So golfers would carry a bucket of wet sand with them from hole to hole before this tee was invented. On December 12, 1899, Dr. Grant received a U.S. patent, which was the world's first patent for a golf tee. Because Dr. Grant was an inventor and not a marketer, he never reaped the benefits of this innovation. In 1991, the United States Golf Association recognized Dr. Grant as the original inventor of the wooden tee. And That's all I have in terms of announcements. Now we will move on to our mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just got a few announcements. Some events coming up. We have that glow-in-the-dark pickleball tournament, which is going to be at the Egan Center on February the 15th. It's going to start at 9 a.m. It's $50 per team. We have our family night out on February 21st, which is going to be the Sweetheart Bingo, which is going to be at JFK Center, the Celebration Hall, from 6 to 9 p.m. We have the Luck of the Irish Golf Tournament coming up, which is going to be on March 15th, 2025, with a 10 a.m. start. And we have the St. Patrick's Day Parade and Festival, which is going to be the following day on March the 16th, with the parade starting at 9 o'clock.
The run at 9 o'clock.
Oh, the run's at 9 o'clock.
Run
Okay.
at 9 o'clock, parade at noon.
There you go. And then we'll go down to the Knights of Columbus grounds and we'll have a celebration. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Mayor. The next regular meeting for the City Council will be on Monday, February the 24th at 7 p.m. Councilwoman Pagano moves to adjourn the regular meeting, seconded by Councilman Siam. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? This meeting is adjourned.